11 years, no one knew what happened until one ordinary man, a humble car wash owner, spotted something that changed everything. Flashback to 2012. The sound of a car radio hums as laughter fills the air. For friends, Tara, Malik, Derek, and Aisha load up their old blue Honda for a spring break trip to Arizona. They're college seniors at Atlanta State University, chasing one last memory before adulthood closes in. Tara, the planner, studies a map. Malik, her boyfriend and the group's jokester, fiddles with the music. Derek, quiet but loyal, drives. Aisha, the outspoken activist, films everything on her old camcorder. Aisha, laughing, if we end up in the desert. It's your fault, Tara. Tara, smiling, relax. I double-checked the route. We'll be fine. But they weren't. They were last seen at a gas station outside Albuquerque. Surveillance footage showed them laughing, buying snacks, and filling up the car. After that, nothing. Days turned into weeks. Then months. The police said they probably drove off the road. Others whispered about foul play, a cover-up, or a wrong turn into the wrong town. Tara's mother, Mrs. Green, never stopped searching. She stood outside city halls, wrote letters, begged for attention. But authorities dismissed her. Officer Reed, coldly, ma'am, after this long, you should prepare for the worst. Mrs. Green, tearfully, I already have. I just want the truth. But the truth stayed buried until 11 years later. Fast forward to 2023. Eli Turner, 46, owns a small car wash on the outskirts of Las Cruces, New Mexico. He's a quiet man, ex-mechanic, Vietnam veteran son, and deeply observant. One day, an older pickup truck pulls into his wash. The driver, a man in a sheriff's jacket, steps out. The truck is dusty, sun-worn, and looks like it hasn't been cleaned in years. Eli almost ignores it until he notices something. When the soap hits the windshield, faint scratches appear beneath the grime. They're letters etched into the glass. Help U.S. 2012. Eli freezes. The letters are jagged, desperate, written from the inside. Scene 4, the discovery. Eli steps back, heart pounding. He calls the sheriff's office, but the deputy on the phone sounds impatient. Deputy, flatly, sir, we've had plenty of prank calls. Don't waste our time. That night, Eli can't sleep. He digs through old newspapers online. Then he finds it. The missing college students from 2012. The car description matches perfectly. A blue Honda Civic with Georgia plates. Eli rushes back to his shop, determined. He checks the truck's registration and freezes again. The vehicle was impounded by the same sheriff's department after an abandoned vehicle report from 2012. Why hadn't anyone checked it? The next morning, Eli drives to the sheriff's office to speak with Sheriff Briggs, a tall, intimidating man who's been in charge for decades. Eli, Sheriff, I think one of your vehicles might be connected to that missing student case from 2012. Sheriff Briggs, smirking, that case? It's been closed for years. You should stay out of it, Mr. Turner. But Eli notices something in Briggs' eyes, fear. Later that night, Eli sneaks back into his car wash. He opens the truck's trunk and finds a cracked cell phone half buried under a mat. He wipes it off. It's covered in dust, but still shows a faint photo when he powers it on with his own charger. It's a selfie of the 4 missing friends, taken inside the same truck. Behind them, a sheriff's badge glints in the corner of the frame. Eli sends a photo to Mrs. Green using an old contact form from a missing persons website. Within 24 hours, the FBI shows up. The badge in the photo is traced to Sheriff Briggs' department, and specifically Deputy Lorne, who retired abruptly in 2013. When confronted, the deputy denies everything, until Eli's security camera footage is shown. It captured Briggs himself driving the same old truck into Eli's car wash just days ago. The case explodes in the media. News trucks swarm the small town. Reporter, voiceover. After 11 years, new evidence in the disappearance of 4 college students has been uncovered by a local car wash owner. But as the investigation deepens, something doesn't add up. Scene 7, the twist and power shift. Eli becomes a local hero, but danger follows. Late one night, his power goes out. As he walks toward the breaker box, he hears a car pull up. Headlights flood his yard. A figure steps out, Sheriff Briggs. Briggs, coldly, "You should have left things alone, Eli. Some ghosts deserve to stay buried." Eli stands his ground, gripping a wrench. "Eli!" "No, Sheriff. You buried more than ghosts. You buried people's children." Before Briggs can respond, sirens fill the air. The FBI arrives. They have been tracking Briggs' phone since Eli's evidence surfaced. Briggs is arrested on the spot, but as they drag him away, he shouts something chilling. "You think you found all of them? You didn't. You didn't even come close." The next morning, investigators return to the site where the car was originally impounded. They dig near the edge of an old dry lake bed and uncover the rusted remains of another vehicle. Inside, they find bones. And in the back seat, another sheriff's badge. The town reels in shock. Eli watches the news in silence, gripping his coffee cup. Eli Turner thought he brought justice to 4 missing students. But when another badge was found buried in the desert, one that didn't belong to Sheriff Briggs, it became clear this story wasn't over. What started as a quest for truth was about to uncover a web of power, corruption, and secrets that had been buried for decades. Soft background score swells. Desert winds howl. A shovel clinks against metal. The FBI unearths the second vehicle, half buried in the dried lake bed. The car's frame is rusted through, but inside, investigators find 2 skeletons and a sheriff's badge dated 1989, older than the first. Agent Ruiz, the lead investigator, studies it carefully. Ruiz grim. This wasn't just one bad cop. This goes back years. Eli watches from behind the police line, the weight of everything hitting him. He thought finding one badge would bring closure. Instead, it opened a darker truth. He looks up across the crowd. He spots Mrs. Green, Tara's mother, clutching a photo of her daughter. Their eyes meet. Both of them know this isn't over. That night, Eli's car washes vandalized. Rat is spray painted across the front wall in red paint. A rock crashes through his window, followed by a note. "Stop digging. You'll end up like them." Eli stares at it, jaw tight. But instead of calling the police, he takes a deep breath and whispers, "Eli, if they're trying to scare me, they don't know who I am." He boards up the window, rolls up his sleeves, and goes back to work. Mrs. Green visits Eli the next morning. Her eyes are tired, her hands tremble, but her voice is steady. Mrs. Green: "I went through Tara's old things again last night. Found something I missed before." She pulls out an envelope. Inside is a faded postcard from 2012, postmarked Las Cruces, New Mexico. The handwriting belongs to Tara. "Made it safe. Stopped at a diner near the border. Something feels off. Tell Malik's mom I love her." Eli reads it again and again. The diner. That could be where it all started. Eli and Mrs. Green drive out to the old Sunset Diner, now abandoned and covered in dust. The paint peels, the windows are cracked, and the neon sign flickers faintly in the wind. Inside, the booths are empty except one. Etched into the tabletop, beneath layers of grime, are words carved by hand. "Help U.S. Tara." Mrs. Green gasps and covers her mouth. Eli's hands tremble as he snaps a photo. Eli, quietly, they were here. She was here. As they search the diner, Eli finds an old security camera above the counter. It's broken, but the wiring runs the floor into a back office. He pries open a cabinet and finds a stack of old VHS tapes. They take them home. Eli and Mrs. Green sit in silence as they play the first tape. Static fills the screen, then an image flickers to life. It's grainy, black and white, but clear enough for young people, Tara, Malik, Aisha, and Derek, sitting in the diner booth, laughing. Then 2 men in sheriff's uniforms walk in. One of them is Sheriff Briggs. The other is a man they don't recognize. The video cuts suddenly. Eli rewinds and pauses, zooming in on the second man's name tag. The letters are faint, but visible. Sheriff Alton. Eli frowns. "Eli, that's impossible. Briggs wasn't sheriff back then." Eli brings the tape to Agent Ruiz. She watches silently, then opens a folder. Inside is a black and white photo from 1989. Ruiz, that's Sheriff Charles Alton, retired 30 years ago, died in 2014. Briggs was his deputy. Eli's heart sinks. Eli, so Briggs didn't start it. He inherited it. Ruiz nods grimly. Ruiz, looks like it. And whatever they were doing, it went on for decades. Eli suddenly remembers something. The scratched words on the first windshield. Help U.S. 2012. What if there were more like that? More cars. More victims. He looks up at Ruiz. Eli, check the impound records. Every car reported abandoned near that stretch of highway since the 80s. Ruiz stares at him. Ruiz, you think this is bigger than one case? Eli, I think it's a graveyard. The next few days, news spreads fast. Reporters call it the Desert Sheriff case. The town is shaken, and for the first time, the sheriff's department faces federal scrutiny. But Eli can't shake the feeling he's being watched. One night, as he closes his shop, he sees headlights reflecting in his window. A car idles across the street. The driver never gets out. Eli steps outside. The car speeds away, leaving behind a folded newspaper under a rock by his door. The headline reads, Local Hero Questioned in Missing Persons Cover-Up. And beneath it, a photo of Eli himself. Someone's trying to turn the town against him, determined to prove his innocence. Eli returns to the dry lake bed where the second car was found. He brings a metal detector, following the same trail the FBI marked earlier. Hours pass with nothing, until the device beeps. He digs carefully and uncovers another object, a rusted keychain with the initials AM, Aisha Malik. He wipes the dirt off, and suddenly notices something else buried nearby. A camera lens cracked but intact. He turns it over and gasps. It's engraved with a serial number and the words, Property of Las Cruces County Sheriff's Department. That's when he hears it, a car engine approaching fast. Headlights slice through the darkness. A shadowed figure steps out, holding a flashlight and a gun. Voice low, menacing, You should have stopped when you had the chance, Eli. The camera drops to the ground, the light flickers, and everything cuts to black. Narrator, somber, suspenseful tone. Eli Turner uncovered the truth buried beneath years of lies. But some secrets don't stay buried quietly. As the snow melted and the desert revealed what it swallowed, one man's search for justice was about to uncover something far darker. Something the town never wanted found. Please subscribe for part 2.